Welcome in, everyone. This is Crow, and we're going to do another stitch with me today. If I can find my pattern, there it is. So this is the one that you all voted for 2 weeks ago, and I didn't get up, I didn't film and get up last week because, as I explained in my last floss tube, I was hell-bent on getting raisin done, which I did. So we're going to do it this week. This is Green Elven Door by Stitch with Cat on Etsy. You all voted for this. I think it got, I'm not going to go back and look. I think it got 44% of the votes or something like that. So we are currently at 14,238 stitches out of 78,936, and I'm at 18.04%. So let me get the pattern up. I'm very prepared. I have a needle at least this time. And this is over 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And I'm not doing it in diagonals. I just continued on. I didn't feel like this was a diagonal piece. So this is the center tree. Looks really nice, but we're working over here on the right hand side. This is the right corner. Need to find a color, and we're just gonna work our way down. There's probably honestly gonna be a lot of 310 stitching today. That's not right. Almost this whole section is not solid, but pretty heavy 310. So we're just gonna break it into little sections and get going on it. Right. My third cup of coffee already today, y'all. It's one of those days. I'd been having really bad sciatica pains for almost a week, and so it was pretty rough sleeping at nights and everything. And last night I was able to sleep well. I woke up without get my cord out of the way, without any well, I shouldn't say any, but with nowhere near the amount of pain that I've been having for the past week, which was nice, but I grind my teeth at night, and I can always tell when usually is when I have worse dreams or bad dreams. And I can always tell when I wake up in the morning, because I wake up with a headache. And so I was just, that was this morning. So I was like, ugh, the pain kind of went from one area to of my body to another. Just, it is what it is. So I'm excited for Saturday because that is March 1st. And the first day of my birthday month stitch along, Murder March. So I was torn because, and I've shared it on my floss tube, I think. Yes, I did, when I was explaining it originally a couple floss tubes ago. that I do have a piece, there's a bit of Bathory that I want to start, which is going to be my birthday new start. But I was thinking, oh man, my birthday is on the 11th, so that's almost half the month where I'm not going to be able to participate in the stitch along. And I was like, oh, well, do I want to start? I mean, first of all, let's be real, people. About 90% of my whips would fit into this theme in one way or another. But I do have other things, obviously, that I could start in my hoard. So then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna save my Bathory piece for my birthday new start. And then I was thinking, okay, well, let's pick a whip that I can work on starting on the 1st, you know. And I have a lot of ravens, I have a lot of crows, I've got sirens, I've got all kinds of things that, like skeletons, skulls, all kinds of things that could fit into this. And then I thought, okay, well, let's be creative. So I've decided to, something's not right here, but I'm just going to fill it in with 310. I decided to work on my old-fashioned dragon by artworks by Stanley Morrison. And it's charted by Pain Free Crafts, which initially you might be thinking, that's not really murder related. But I took the saying, some of you may have heard it, or one variation or another, right? I could murder a drink, or I could kill for a drink. So that's how I am using it for the stitch along, because I don't drink anymore, but there are still times where I'm like, oh, I could murder a drink. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start work. Well, I mean, it is a whip, but I have it out and ready to go to work on Saturday. I'm very excited. So if anyone is participating in the Murder March for my birthday, that's another idea you could use. But feel free to share if you are participating, what you have in mind, what projects, and how you're interpreting the word murder. There is the channel up in the Discord. I did get that up. So if you're not in the Discord and you'd like to join, the link's down below in the description. But there is a channel under the something community events or something tab, where you can post your starting points and any progress you have throughout the month if you would like to. So it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited, and I think I might make this a yearly sal, like usually. So I do June dog every June, where you just work on any long dog sampler, and that's become a yearly thing. And then I always have March because it's my birthday month. Like I said, there's a few of us that we each get our own birthday months, and then we kind of just switch around and divvy up the rest of the month throughout the year, and we alternate months and come up with themes. And usually, so the past few times I've had March, past couple years, it's been different themes, but I think this is going to become a yearly thing. This is just too fun. This is going to be my yearly birthday month theme. And I also had the thought the other day, I was watching Cross Stitch the Globe, their latest floss tube, and they talked about their Make It Murder style, which I had planned on joining and still have the project for, but I haven't started it yet. So I'm definitely very far behind on that since I haven't even started it. But their style was you take a project or a pattern that isn't, it's cute, it's cutesy, it's nothing murder related at all, right? And you make it, you add something or change something to make it murder. And so I had originally, and I'm still gonna do it, I just, like I said, haven't gotten there, but I have a kit of Victorian houses, and I'm going to turn it into a scene, or not a scene, but I guess one of my favorite Murder, She Wrote episodes will work perfectly if I add some things into there. So, but theirs is ending tomorrow, Friday, the last day of February. And so, if you are participating in that, but, might not have your piece finished for the end of their sal, I mean, Murder March would be a great way to work on it some more and maybe get that finish. They said they're gonna do it every year as well, so I might just wait to start mine for next year because I do want to do it. I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and then, well, here we are. Though I could, quite frankly, get it started, so at least by the time their sal rolls around next year, I might be able to finish it. That might be an idea as well. That's such a neat idea too, like taking something that's not related to murder or crime at all and turning it into something that is. That's such a great idea. But in their last floss tube, they did explain how to share, if you did participate in their sal, how to share your either finish or progress, if you would like to, with their community. So go check that out if you haven't yet, and you did participate in the sal. Go check that out so you know how to share your Make It Murder. So I decided to, one of the people I watch, one of my regulars that I watch is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and she's been doing something this year where she made a list of all of her full coverage projects that were under 1%, and is rotating through them all to get them to all to 1%. And then once that happens, she'll go through and get all of them to 3%, etc., etc. And I thought that was a really good idea, and I've been thinking about it. And so anyone who's been with me for a little while, you'll know that I have divided my whips into different categories, right? So I have my priority parade, which are full coverages that I want to finish first. Legacy full coverages I want to finish first. Legacy whips, which are whips I want to hopefully finish in my lifetime. I probably have more just in that category than I ever will finish, but that's beside the point. Finish hopefuls, which this is a part of that I want to hopefully get done this year. And then legacy, did I say legacy? Legacy whips, yeah, which I want to hopefully finish in my lifetime. And then regular whips, which I just enjoy working on, but I won't be upset if I don't finish them. So I went through, I decided, well, I have my different categories, so why don't I go through, excuse me, and kind of do the get it to a certain percent, but different for the categories, right? So I went and I only did full coverages because the other non-full coverage whips, I'm not quite as worried about getting them finished. So I went through and looked at the priority parade whips and the legacy whips. I didn't touch the regular whips. I just left that alone. And I decided to, since the priority parades are ones I want to finish first, and the priority parade is all full coverage, that I went through and I found all the ones that were under 5% and marked them down. I made a list in my Notion. And surprisingly, there weren't that many that were under 5%. I thought there would be more. Oh, my Notion's frozen, apparently, for some reason. I don't know. What's going on here? Just close it and reopen it. No, I lost my spot. There we are. And it's still frozen. That's weird. I'll worry about that later. And then I went through the legacy whips and found all the ones that were below 3% and marked them. So I then thought, okay, well, how am I going to work on these things? So, to get them to the 5% or the 3%. So I mentioned in my Flosstubes that I've been playing along with Alara in her Stitchopoly game. And I have each token she has 6 tokens: Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Magic, and Chaos. And so each token I have assigned a group of whips to, so that I could, whenever the token, whatever stitches the token has in total, I choose one of those whips from assigned to that token to work on. So I still get some leeway. I'm not being forced to work on a specific whip. Still get some choice, which is important to me. So I had kind of just randomly before assigned whips to that. And then I thought, this might be a great way to use, to work on these under 5% and under 3% whips. So I went down the list and assigned a group to each token. So now the next round of Monopoly, I'll be working on those pieces. And then again, I can still choose whichever one I want for a specific token. But then once a piece reaches its either 5% or 3%, I'll just take it off the list, and we'll whittle it down slowly but surely. I didn't include, like I said, any regular lips or any finished hopefuls, because finished hopefuls are things I work on pretty regularly, since I do hope to have them finished this year. If I don't get them finished, it's not that big a deal, but they're kind of loose aims, loose goals. But what I might do is, as I knock things off the list, I might add in some regular whips to get them up to a certain percentage, maybe 3%. Just checking to make sure I'm still in view of the camera. So what are you all working on today? I do really enjoy, a lot of you do share what you're working on, and some people crochet while they watch these, other people stitch, whatever. It's nice to hear what y'all are working on. I still have 16,000 stitches left of 310 in this piece, so it's probably a good thing that I'm doing a bunch of 310 today. It's not that exciting for you all, but I think most people just kind of tend to listen to these stitch with me's instead of watching intently. You know, look up every once in a while, but I don't think most people watch too intently, so it's kind of a good time to get some boring stitching in. I shouldn't say boring, but it's very monotonous, isn't it? It's not that exciting to watch. It's so lovely because I'm starting to hear the birds are starting to come back, so you can hear them outside, and it's so, you forget how much you miss them in the winter, like how quiet it is in the winter compared to spring and summer. It's much different, and not until they start to come back and you hear them do you think, oh wow, yeah, that was really quiet without them here. So it's been lovely. It's finally starting to well, I shouldn't say finally, it's still technically winter, but it's warming up a bit, and you know, enough for them to start coming back. And we are supposed to get another cold front Saturday night into Sunday. I think it's supposed to get down to 17 degrees Fahrenheit, which I don't know what that is in Celsius. I'd have to look. But Anastara is coming up soon. The vernal equinox, so first day of spring, and I'm very excited. I already have seeds picked out that I want to plant and get started in March. A lot of are herbs. I do use a lot of herbs, and I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I do use a lot of herbs. So there's a few of those I have planned to plant from seeds, get them started, and then I also have a few wildflowers that I want to get started for to put into the pollinator garden that I'm going to do this year. We're not doing the vegetable garden. It's not worth it. I think I talked about that in a previous Stitch With Me. Our soil here, we just can't grow. Basically, we can grow like zucchini. And you know, there's only so much zucchini you can eat before you're like, I never want to see another zucchini again in my life. So instead of planting vegetables this year, I ordered a bunch of perennial pollinator plants, and we'll be planting a pollinator garden. So I do have some wildflowers and other seeds that I want to plant and get started in March as well to put back there. And I got my Pesinkas out. Oh. So I did the clue piece for this week, was the pink Pesinka piece so you'll see it in my next floss tube. And I'm not going to get it done before Ostara this year, but I do hope to get it done and get it framed for next year. But I did get some pussy willows that were from my Baba and Gigi's house. They had a pussy willow tree. And some feathers, goose feathers that a child had collected when he went camping. The geese were, I guess, in part of their migratory pattern. I don't know. And there were thousands of them that came by the lake, and you know, they're all pruning themselves, and there's just loose feathers everywhere. So he picked a bunch off the ground to save, and so I put them in a little vase with the pussy willows. And got my Pesinkas out. So for anyone who does not know, Pesinka are Ukrainian dyed eggs. Historically, they were only made by women, and they were a pagan tradition. So, and then when Ukraine went to Christianity, the symbols on the peasant were changed from pagan symbols to Christian symbols. But essentially what they are is hollowed out eggshells, or hollowed out eggs, so you're just left with the eggshell. And they are then dyed by using a wax method. So you go from lightest color to darkest color. So if there anything in your design that you want to keep white, you use this wax, this tool. It's like a I've done it before, and I'm not very well, but I've done it. It's like a wood kind of wand with a little metal, almost like funnel on the end, but it's really fine. And you put wax and then heat it up under a flame, on a flame, to make the wax, soft. And so then you draw on the eggshell whatever you would want to remain white, or the lightest color. Let's say white, and then you dye it. Let's say the next color you'd want would be yellow, so you dye it in the yellow. And then anything that you would want to remain yellow, you then cover in the wax, and then you go to the next color, so on and so forth, until the egg's done. And then you melt and take all the wax off, and you're left with very, very intricate designs. They take quite a long time to do. And so I have some of my babas that she made, and then some that Baba and my mom had just, collected through the years. And then some, it was 2003, 2004, I tried making some, and I thought they were, my memory told me they were worse than they actually are. I got them out, and I was pleasantly surprised. They're not great, but they're not as horrible as I thought they were. So I got some of the peasant out, and child had never seen them before. I think the last time I had them out, he was an infant, if I even got them out. So it's been a long time, and part of the reason I didn't get them out was just because of the house itself. My mom was a hoarder, so it took us 8 years to clean out the house enough. There's still stuff that we haven't gone through, surprisingly. But it took eight years to kind of get it to a point where, I felt, okay, we can actually start using things. But then we were going to move. We weren't going to be here, so everything was just packed away and not touched. Then things changed, and we couldn't move, and then we were so it's just been a bunch of back and forth with stuff kind of like that. And oh wait, I didn't do the, wait, did I? No, I didn't do those. Hold on. I did those. Okay. So I finally was able to get them out, and it felt really nice. When I do my next floss tube on Monday, and I show the Pessinka piece that I worked on, I'll bring a couple up and show you all. They're absolutely stunning. But I shared with Child. It's amazing how I haven't seen them for probably a decade or more. And I got them out, and I still, oh, I remember that one. Oh, I remember that one, and they each have their own, what the hell happened here? So even though I haven't seen them in such a long time, they still make an impression, and I remembered them once I saw them again. I was like, oh yeah, Baba made that one, or yeah. And I shared Child had never seen them, so I showed them and I explained the history of it and the why they're so important to the Ukrainian culture. And the different, some of the different symbols. A lot of them, like I said, when they turn to Christianity, they become Christian symbols. But a lot of them from the pagan times and even still now are, about abundance, wheat and like good crops, and fertility can be a sign in some of them. And so it's they hold a lot of meaning. So I did that this past weekend. It was really nice. But yeah, I'll bring a couple up and show you in my floss tube. The ones I made still have the yolks in them. I couldn't get it out. I tried, and I was very unsuccessful. Which obviously is not the traditional way, but the yolk just eventually dries up and into a little dried ball, and it just kind of sits in there. But I don't think I have my kit anymore because I think I didn't think I was ever gonna do it again. Especially now with how expensive eggs are here. I mean, yeah, but seeing them again has kind of made me want to try. Want to try again. I got an email yesterday that the 3 finished pieces I sent to the framer arrived, and so I'm very excited. She said she would be in touch with me soon with some options, so I'm really excited. I sent the rooks, and these, mind you, these pieces have been sitting in my drawer, my finished drawer, for quite a while. Couple years at least for the rooks and Santa Quill. And then I also sent my body version 2 sampler from Birdie's Crossing that I finished last year. So I'm excited. My body version 2 is going to go on my Craftivism wall. And then the rooks and Santa Quill will go on my murder wall. And Raisin is done, so I will send Raisin out. I'm debating on whether to hold on to her for a little bit and send a couple at a time, or just send one. I don't think I have anything else that's... Oh no, I do. I want to send, there was another Peasant piece that I had finished last year, and I didn't send it out in the first go round because I had gotten a box, like a wood box that had a glass insert on the lid and that you could take out. So I thought, I thought that the Peasant piece I had finished would fit in there, because I didn't have the measurements of the inside of the lid, just the tops, you know, the outside measurements. And so I took it out the other day and got when the box came, and it just doesn't fit. Like, and it's the way the piece is it's a nice border, so I don't want the border cut off at all. And it's, I want to say, maybe 1/4 of an inch too big to fit in there. And it's a very odd size, so I think I will send that off to be framed. So maybe I'll send that and Raisin together. In the same shipment. What did I do wrong here? Oh, I see what I did. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It'll be, yeah, it's not anything important. It's just background. Okay. I did come up with a way to easily fully finish and display some small pieces yesterday. So I've been in a decluttering and, you know, cleaning out mood lately, which is probably how my sciatica got inflamed. But anyway, so down in our laundry, again, this was my parents' house, and my mom was a hoarder, like I said. So there's stuff that, quite honestly, has been there for decades. And I don't even notice it anymore, because it's just been there so long. It's like it's just part of it. So in the laundry room, she used to hang instead of using the dryer, she would hang clothes out in the summertime on the clothesline. And so she had a big, like, a huge collection of clothespins, quite frankly, that you could have like 6 clotheslines and not use all of them. Like, I don't understand. But anyway, at some point I had cleared, you know, a good chunk out, but then had left like two bags, and they were hanging on the rack in the laundry room. And again, they were just there. They lived there. It was part of the it was just part of the room. And I had the thought yesterday, I was like, wait, we have those clothespins. What if I take, like, I could either crochet like a chain, or braid a chain, or with yarn, or like I have some like twine or whatever, you know, like a rope twine or whatever. And what if I take and like hang that, and then take the clothes, like small pieces, especially with Ada, you know, you can kind of do it's a very 80s 90s thing where you take a couple, so let me just get it. Let me pause and get it. Actually, can I pause? Yes, I can. Give me 1 second. Okay. Are we back? I think so. Okay, so yeah, like this is one that I had stitched last year, and it was just in the drawer. So I took a couple things out, that border, and then I had this rattan, that thing that I had bought for finishing things, and then one of the clothespins. And just, there you go. And then you can hang it on the wall, you know, and then have a few, kind of make a pennant, you know, with their, you know what they're called, with like the triangles usually. I hope you know what I'm talking about. And then you can just change them out if you wanted to. So, like, yeah, those are easy. I can, you know, that's like my kind of finishing. I'll finish stuff like that. That's my fully finishing. But I thought that was kind of a fun idea. So I did that to test it out, see kind of how I liked it. And then I have some more in my drawer that I'll iron and do that too. Take some of the threads out. And let's go over here. Let's fill in this bit over here. And so yeah, and use some of those clothespins so they're not just a fixture in the laundry room. Oh, God. I got a big box out of the closet yesterday of clothes to give to Goodwill. That just, since I've embraced my gothiness, there was a period where I was kind of in between. I was half embracing and then half not embracing. So there were still clothes left over from that period that, you know, I just know I'm not going to wear anymore, because I have decided, you know what, it doesn't matter if I'm a 40-something-year-old goth. Like, that's what I am, and that's what I'm going to be, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. So let's get rid of this stuff that I know I'm not going to wear. And some shoes that I can't wear anymore. And I was very proud. So there's a little bit of a backstory with this. When my mom first got cancer, she got cancer in 94, 93, 94, that year, in between, somewhere around there. I think it was, she was diagnosed in December of 93. That's what it was. Anyway, then when she went into remission every year for her appointments, she would wear, and mind you, this is the 90s. So anyone who was there in the 90s, remember those like silk shirts that were very popular? Okay, well, she had a neon pink silk shirt and white pants. And it was just what she wore the first year that she went to her appointments. It was just what she happened to wear. And everything came back clean and fine, etc. So every year for her doctor's appointments until she died, she wore that neon pink silk t-shirt, button down, and the white pair of pants. And they were, even with all the hoarding, that was one of the things that she knew where it was, and it was, you know, pressed and ironed and ready to go for the next year. Like, and I still had that, and I've tried to get rid of that for 14 years. She'll be gone in 14 years in April. And I've tried multiple times, and each time I've broken down, completely lost it, and it went back in the closet. And I was so proud yesterday. I was like, you know what? It's time. I'm ready. It's time. And I took it down, took it off the hanger, put it in the box, left the box open to show Dar that I had succeeded, and didn't have any, you know, no breakdown, no nothing, and it's in the box ready to go. So I was very proud of that. But I think it does show that, you know, sometimes if you are going through a grieving process, it can take time for certain things, right? And if you're not ready for something yet, that's okay. Just try again, and eventually you will be ready to let whatever that is go, and it'll be time, and you'll know it's time. And so, you know, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're failing or anything like that. It's just part of the process, and it takes however long it takes, you know. So, yeah, I was very, very proud of that. So, got that box ready, and hopefully Dar can take it to, it's too heavy for me to lift. So hopefully Dar can take it to Goodwill this weekend. Get it out the house. And I still have more things I'm decluttering and going through. And it's just the time of year for it, especially leading up to Ostara, the first day of spring. It's you know, the whole spring cleaning thing. It's just part of how I celebrate this time of year, you know. So I even told Child, I said, we call it the basement, we call the mines. And he has his game room and everything down there. It's like Dar finished half the basement, so he's got, you know, a love seat down there and a TV and his PS, whatever it is, 5. I think it's a 5. I don't know. His gaming. And it, you know, being his age, he basically lives down there. If he's not at school or ballet, he lives down there. And so we call it the mines. And it is disgusting. not like not like moldy disgusting or anything like that, but just, you know, socks everywhere, clothes, like dirty laundry everywhere that'll take off and then just leave it there and not bring it back up to wash it, and like, you know, trash. And I ate a granola bar and I'm just gonna throw the wrapper on the floor, you know, stuff like that. And I said, you know, okay, we're gonna have an effort and we're going to, you're gonna clean, I say we, but you are going to clean the mines once a year. Like, let's just do it once a year. Give it a good clean through, a good sort out, a good, you know, and then you can go back to your whatever it is. And you have a whole year to make it disgusting again. Like, let's just at least once a year give it a nice clean out. So he picked up all his laundry and from down there and did the laundry and got the trash thrown out, and now it just needs to be vacuumed and, you know, things like that. But yeah, like, I don't go down there. First of all, I don't like the basement for just reasons, arachnophobia reasons. But like, it's his space, it's his, you know, just enjoy it, enjoy your space, but also let's not be completely disgusting about it. Did I do this? And I did, and didn't mark it off. Okay. I need to pay attention to what I'm marking off or not marking off, because especially in these bits, it's nice and simple, but it's easy to forget or lose track of which row you're on, where you are, what you've actually done. Good news, I suppose, though, is that if you do make a mistake, it's in an area like this, it's not really that obvious. Okay. Oh, something isn't right. What did I do? I think I marked off a row that okay, wait, I did. Okay, that's way over here. Okay, wait. Because you all just want to see me try to find where I am. Okay, that's over here. Then I did these. Okay, then that's that. There we are. It was stuff I had done before that I hadn't marked off properly. Okay, we're good. On that note, though, I think we're gonna leave it here for the day. I will get a poll up for next week's Stitch With Me. So in the post section, if you would like to vote for next week, go ahead and do so. I'll get that up. It actually might be up already by the time this gets posted or uploaded, because it takes forever to upload. So we got 327 stitches done, all in 310. So I now have 14,560 stitches, and I'm at 18.45%. So we're going to leave it there for today. I'll be back on Monday with a stitch with me, or I'm sorry, back on Monday with a floss too. Head on over to the post channel to vote for next week's stitch with me. And also in the post tab, if you have any questions for the AMA stitch with me that I'll be filming separately, go ahead and ask them in the post in there as well. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Happy stitching, y'all. Bye.